Oh, that's crunchy.
Shaz, who goes first?
Well, obviously I do, because I don't want to stare at your ass getting in.
Righto
All right,
then.
here we go.
There you go, polka dot skinny ass.
Ah,
Bang. Perfect. Here I come.
up your trot.
All right.
Where are
Welcome
we, Johnny?
to the Wedding Crunch live from Pete's Limo.
Also known as Enrik Limousines. I'm staring at Pete because he's like
Pete's behind the camera.
voyeuristic in the back there.
Yeah. What do you think of this limo, Shaz?
It's a bit porn star. It's
There's a
one of my
lot of
favourites.
shit going on here.
I know. Normally we'd have champagne, but it's 10:30 in the morning, and that's even a bit much for me. That's saying something.
We're on the lemonade.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lemonade, Shaz.
Well, it's actually 7-Up.
Yeah.
Look, Pete's got everything.
Do that one.
Hasn't he?
Yeah. We're doing it live from
Not put
Pete's
in there.
Limo today, Sharon, because I want to talk about transportation at weddings. There's a few different ways to get around. Cheers, big ears.
Oh, look, here we are again. It's been a bit of a COVID silence, hasn't it? Maybe he'll change it to the proper lemonade by the time the season starts again.
Yeah. So, getting around at weddings. You can either get around in 3 classic 1950s Rolls Royces,
Bentleys.
which is good if you want that sort of thing, Sharon.
Oh, I love classic cars, so
True,
I'm okay with
true. I love the look of them, but my big thing is if you want to get out in a wedding, there's 6 or 7 of you, you want to hang with your mates.
that. Oh, the only way to fly would be a limo, wouldn't it?
You want to load up in a big-ass limo with a bunch of booze,
Yeah.
with some sexy lighting,
Yeah.
and then Pete cranks up the tunes and it's all... Yep.
Yeah. I would imagine there'd be a bit of karaoke, Pete. Yeah, you,
We'll
can,
get to-
you can speak.
There's some karaoke going on here. That'd be great.
Might have a bit of karaoke.
So there's no doubt there's 100,000 stories that we're going to get from Pete in a second.
Well, he's only told me 2 so far, and he's
Yeah,
racking his brain out. I've got one.
What?
When I first started being a we were heading off to Encore. I was doing a wedding at Encore.
Yep.
And the groom split his pants getting into the limo. That's a true story. I may have mentioned that before, actually, in a previous
Did you help
podcast.
him stitch those pants up?
No,
in some
they
capacity?
found a little auntie who went, because he hadn't even gotten to the reception. That was
Right.
getting in the car to head to the reception.
Yes.
So they found a little auntie and she stitched up his pants. So he was 45 minutes late. In the meantime, the bride's in the bridal suite. You know that bridal suite at Encore?
Yes.
It's not massive.
No. And actually, the drug capital of Melbourne.
That's not true.
I've walked in on many a cocaine line in that little room.
Why are you hanging out there more often? No, that's not true. We don't do drugs. Don't recommend them. Wreck your brain.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
And she was slamming those champagnes back like nothing else. And of course, a lot of brides don't eat properly during the day. The mum told me, I think she's getting drunk. And as a celebrant,
Yes.
they have to be inebriated by law for me not to marry them. I don't care if they're a little pissy. I had to cut her off. It's the only person I've had to cut off
You
is
had
the
to
bride.
say, stop drinking,
You need to-
because legally
Whoa.
you need to be some sort of sober.
Not sober, but you can't be inebriated. I know of one celebrant that carries a breathalyzer. I think that might be going a little bit too far.
It's like
You have to
photographers
be-
taking a drug test. You have to piss into the jar.
No,
Isn't that
it's
hardcore?
more about if I feel that you are non-coherent,
Yes.
then you're not going to be consenting.
Right.
So by law, I can't marry you.
Yes.
But you have to be literally tripping over yourself.
So tell me if this is legal. I did a wedding where the groom had a fit beforehand, knocked out cold, came good enough that they sat him on a chair during the ceremony, slurred his way through I do, and then went to the hospital. Is that legal, Sharon?
Well, yes, because he would have been coherent.
He didn't seem all that coherent.
Well, the whole thing is, let's just say the next day he said, I want that marriage annulled.
Yes.
He possibly could have got away with it. If he had have done a 24-hour, shit, I've made a mistake, I've married this
could have
bitch
got
for
out.
life.
What about where if he goes, I now pronounce you man and wife, and the groom says, where the fuck am I? That's officially illegal?
Oh, you'd have to do a bit more digging and investigating. Like, I'd have to pull him aside
Yes.
and go, are you totally
And
with
confirm
us?
it.
Are you consenting to this marriage? We can do it again when your concussion subsides if you like. But by law, if you're not consenting at this moment,
Yes.
I cannot marry you.
Well, the intricacies
Yeah.
of not being hammered or
Don't be hammered.
knocked out.
Anyway, the groom got there 45 minutes late.
Yes.
All the guests were boozing on anyway. They were having the time of their life. So that's why it's another important thing to have a bit of beverage before the ceremony. And she was relatively sober, and it was an awesome ceremony
So
in the end.
that's your. I've had many a groom who split pantsers. But
Pantsers?
Pantsers. One pants, two pantsers. One fish, red fish.
No, I think that's one pant, two panties.
We had a bridesmaid whose dress exploded. And
Oh, Pete's nodding his
Plenty of
head.
those.
Have you had one of those too, buddy?
yeah,
of
and
those.
so the bridesmaid's laying on the bed while my assistant has a knee in her back to get everything tightened up, and the mother is leaning in with the thing and stitched her into the dress.
Then how did she get into the car?
Just I don't know. She didn't
She'd be like-
explode anymore. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, I've had that happen. A groom blowing pants
That's my
every 2
only
weeks.
outfit blow.
We had one at the little fountain at the back of Quaquatta in the courtyard.
Yes.
I was doing a little bridal party shot there, and one of the groomsmen stepped into the fountain.
For what purpose?
He fell.
Oh, he didn't step in. He fell in.
No, but he was sort of walking backwards, and he stepped in, and his foot went all the way down, and when he got up, his pants were split all the way up, and one leg was just black from the shit that was in there. And so he's going, what do? I said, mate, you just need to own it. So pants off, walks straight back into the reception in his jocks.
Why have I not seen that photo?
Now, it's an amazing... The photo of him in front of the bridal party.
Yeah.
He's pulling one of those... he's got a big Superman pose in front of the crowd. They're all pissing themselves laughing.
So I guess the moral of this story is,
Yes.
if something like that happens,
Yes.
own it, enjoy it, roll with it.
Yeah.
Don't go into the corner and cry like a baby.
Because it's the greatest story to tell
Well, we've just told it.
later down the track.
We have. Pete, you're going to give us a story? You're going to pop your pretty little face in?
We want to find out some dirt about
Come
limos.
on, come and
because
sit next to Auntie Shaz.
when you're in a limo, everyone wants to bang in a limo, get nude in a limo. What a...
No, don't.
Plenty of other things. Here comes Pete. Here comes
Really?
Pete.
Here comes Pete's ass. Here
Peter
we go.
Giorgio,
Here we
Enrik
go.
Limousines.
Oh, look at this, the rows between
Just
the thorns.
slide paper up a little bit.
Come
you
on,
look
come
over-
close. I won't bite.
You look,
That's all right, me
you
too.
look thinner front on. So, Pete,
Yes.
some sort of great story for the crowd about a limousine experience.
Limousine experience. So we're not wedding related at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wedding
can
related.
be,
No,
either or.
I think we should PG rated. I'm assuming. So
No,
we'll,
Hell no.
Give the crowd what they want.
No, I think we'll keep it wedding related because I think that's appropriate at this time. We do, obviously 90% or 95% of all the weddings we do are fantastic and wonderful, but you do get your memorable moments, there's no doubt
I love the 5%.
about that. It's the 5% that we reflect on, but we have had situations where the bride on the way to the ceremony is just starting to freak out and getting really nervous, and she started to hyperventilate. So she actually couldn't breathe properly, and it got so worked up that she just couldn't breathe properly.
Oh, that poor little thing.
She was freaking out, and
The stress.
yes,
So at this stage, is there any bridal party, or is it just her and who's walking down the aisle?
it's a couple of her bridesmaids.
So they were just
and her-
tits on a ball. They were doing nothing.
They were doing nothing. They were getting stuck into the champagne to settle their own nerves, and her father was next to her.
Yeah. Okay. So the bridal party were doing fuck all.
Yes.
And the dad was just as useless. And what did Dad do?
Well, Dad asked me if I could do something. So
I picture it as the dad going, Pete,
Do something. Yeah.
So we pulled over the limousine, and that's people think you can pull over straight away, but you
Yeah,
can't in a
true.
limo. You need to find
True.
a
If I
suitable
need to
spot.
vomit, you've got to find a spot that's
That's
5
right.
deep.
So I've pulled the limousine over, and I've gone to have a chat with the bride next to her dad, and she could not breathe. She was hyperventilating big time, and I just said to her, I just need you to look at me for a moment and just start regulating your breathing.
at
And
me.
I've said,
Look at me.
breathe in, breathe out. There was a bit of that, and my wife, having done yoga and stuff in the past. I learnt some of these techniques
yeah, right.
from her.
So you're not just a pretty face or a driver.
So she was calm and cool after yoga.
Well, it took a while to calm her down.
So how long are we talking? A minute? Half a minute?
Oh, I reckon 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, wow, that's a long time of hyperventilating.
Yeah, it is. And I asked her, I tried to lighten the mood, and I said, "You've got the Limousine book for 5 hours. Do you want me just to drive around for 5 hours? Have you changed your mind?" And she's going, "No, I love him. I love him." So as I said, I just regulated her breathing, calmed her down. We got her some water. We took our time, and she settled down.
Let me point out.
Hang on.
Good suppliers. No, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Good suppliers. There's a value add.
Oh, 100%.
I don't just take photos. Sharon just doesn't. What do you do? Pete, the value add from Pete. He's going to come and talk to you, calm you down, get you some Coke.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But those sort of things is what you get from quality suppliers.
Yeah.
If you're in the bottom end, you're looking at price and you're going, here's my 5 quotes, I'm going to the cheapest dickhead in the end.
But who's going to help me with my breathing?
Exactly
Yes,
right.
exactly right.
I had another car company who will remain nameless. We were coming from
I'll tell
Sunbury.
you off air.
From Sunbury all the way to Stones, right?
Yes, that's a fair drive.
So he's got lost. He's gone through the city rather than taking the freeway,
Yeah.
right? Arrives about 50 minutes late. The bride's freaking out,
Yeah.
right?
Because that's what brides do. They freak
do.
out.
Yeah.
They do.
So there's me and Marcus leaning over to the bride trying to get shots in the car, and she's a mess, right? We're trying to calm her down. We're using all our good gear. I'm cracking jokes. The jokes aren't working. Marcus has gone into Yoda yin and yang kind of mode and all getting all spiritual and shit. No.
Nothing.
As brilliant as we thought we were.
She was giving you nothing.
She was so
so
get me out of
wound
the fucking
up.
car. I'm going to get fucking married. Wrong, straight down the aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
which
someone
is
needs to
probably
take a
fair
little
enough.
chill pill.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
come on. Like, you've
If you
got
do
all day.
50 minutes
You can
late.
gain that 50 minutes somewhere else.
Yeah, no doubt screaming at the
Calm.
driver for 50 minutes. Pete, have you had anybody scream at you or lose their shit because of something going wrong?
Would you like a fine glass of 7-Up?
No, I'm good, thanks. I don't drink that shit.
You nearly had it sprayed all over the back of your limo, mate.
Well, to finish that story off, the father was very generous and very appreciative and left me a very generous tip. So,
Your dad. No,
so
that's nice.
it is. Look, it is important. It's
Pete bought another car with the tip.
we and unfortunately, I don't want to over dramatise the bridezilla aspect because it's a very, very small
It is a small
percentage.
percentage, but
Yeah,
True.
but
But
they're the
people
ones who
aren't here to
remember.
hear nice
Yes,
stories.
okay.
Off you go.
Well, we had a 40-degree day.
Yep.
Oh, they're always
And
good.
Worst.
so the stress is on straight away. Bride running extremely late, and I'm sure you can both relate. Once that hair and makeup is not right, you're not setting the mood for a good day.
No.
You're not setting the mood for
No,
a good day.
when the hair and makeup's late and looks like a bridezilla. And
Yes.
looks like a
Morticia.
yes.
Yes. So we got to the ceremony. It was at Montsalvat, and we got there about 40 minutes late. And you know what Montsalvat are like with their timing and
Yep.
everything like that.
No, I don't.
So
So they're pretty tough on their timing?
yeah, they are.
Okay.
They're pretty
Well,
tough
they
on
need to
timing.
just chill out too.
Yeah, so we got 40 degrees, and this was in the early days. So I hadn't been to Montsalvat, and Montsalvat's not really limo friendly.
No, it's not. You've got to whip.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
whipped as much as I could, which is a technical term.
Yeah.
I whipped as much as I could, but could not get her to the front.
Right.
And I said to her, "This is as close as I can get you safely." And she went, "That'd be fucking right. Nothing else has gone right. So, yeah, that'd be right." But the issue we had was that she's running late.
Yeah.
She's in the limo, and she's had a full-on blue with all her bridesmaids. And there were things said that you cannot unsay and think everything's going to be all right. It was, unfortunately, it was
And that's
a very,
before
very...
the ceremony.
That's before the ceremony. That was a very, very feral situation.
Man.
I'd rung the groom, I'd rung Montsalvat. I didn't calm her down at all, but I let her know that we're all good. Doesn't matter that we're late. Everything's under control.
Yeah.
But that did not
So
work
who's
at all.
savage too? Was it the bridesmaid to the bride, the bride to the bridesmaids?
The bride to the bridesmaids.
Oof.
And it was, as I said, there was things said that do not make it okay. because it's
Do you
after
know,
a wedding
I find
day.
it fascinating the stress of a wedding day, what it can turn a human being into.
Yeah,
It's
it was horrible.
mind blowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was absolutely horrible.
Well, I'm dying to
seen
know
some.
whether those friendships are still.
No, they're not. They're not. No, they're not. And that's why I said it had never. I bumped into one of the bridesmaids at a different wedding.
Yep.
And because the day's typical Melbourne day, it started off at 40 degrees. Time we got to the reception,
12 and ale.
12 and hail. It was pelting down. There was nothing we could do. It was just raining so hard. And I bumped into one of the bridesmaids probably 6 or 8 months later. And I asked her if everything was okay. And she said no.
By a long shot.
No.
Nothing's been the same since that wedding day.
Oh, what a shame.
So they're horrible memories to
Have
look
you
back on.
Yeah.
Have you had brides and bridesmaids biff at any stage?
I haven't. I've biffoed a bridesmaid once.
You biffoed one.
Well, not physically, it's against my nature. But I certainly gave her this biffo.
Pull your
I
head
told
in.
her to put her head in. I said, it's not your day. Pull your head in and you will wait.
So where I mentioned before about quality suppliers.
Maybe that was great. No, but you know what? I got a phone call from someone earlier that day saying the bridesmaids, and this woman suffered from, her anxiety was quite high at the best of times, and her bridesmaids were taking it to a whole new level, to the point where she didn't want to get out of the limo until the music started. Didn't want to see me, didn't want to make sure her dress was okay.
Yep.
She just wanted to bolt down that aisle, get married, and get the fuck out. And her bridesmaids were doing nothing. And even during the signing, the bridesmaid was going, oh, over here, look at me, to the photographer. And I thought, I'm going to take you out, bitch. I've got to take you out.
I think the bridesmaids forget that their role is to look after the bride on the day.
Yeah.
And they get too caught up in the makeup and the hair and how they're looking, and they forget.
But
that
that
they've got to
example
look
you
after.
just gave us, it sounds like the bride just got herself in such a lather
Yeah.
that she just brought something up from way deep
Well,
down to her bridesmaids. So it does go both ways.
Yeah. So the nice version is that she
there's a nice version?
she accused the bridesmaids of not doing anything, and they're supposed to help her.
Yes.
And the bridesmaids said, "We are shit scared to help you, and that's why we're not helping you." Like, that's how
Yeah, right.
horrible it was. They are saying the way
that's a
you're
mess.
carrying on,
We're too frightened.
we're too frightened to do anything.
Well, there's a lesson,
mess.
girlies,
So-
and also these Grimezillas out, Droomzillas.
Groomzillas.
Absolutely.
Boys, just be
I've
nice.
seen a few groomzillas.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Pete, I want to move on to some more salacious stories, Pete. There must have three a little Batman-shaped pee hole.
Well, no, because he's focusing on driving this
Thank
long,
you.
massive, mean machine. How long is it?
It's about 8.5 metres long.
Jesus.
I wasn't sure where we were going.
Okay.
The limousine is about 8.5 metres long.
Yeah,
Pete-
that's long.
Pete the Anaconda.
And it's not the easiest thing to manoeuvre and drive.
No.
So when you are driving, you are actually concentrating. It is an exhaustive.
I've said to Pete sometimes, follow me, Pete, and then I whip through 100 roundabouts.
Yes.
And then I look behind and
Yes.
Pete's going like that.
Go on the back
It's
street,
good when John says follow me and he does a U-turn. And it's like, yeah, no, I can't do that.
And he's got 8
So-
feet of,
Yeah, then
steel.
Pete does 6 blocks to do the square.
Oh,
Yes.
love.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it is.
But you guys have
yeah.
worked together before. You know how each other works.
Yes.
We know you're going to be on time. I've worked with you oodles of times as well. I just know once it's Enrik Limousines, we're sorted. We're all good to go.
Yeah, it's important. Communication is really important on the day. Understanding, you know, what's required. Understanding what I know what you want when we rock up to the ceremony.
How many-
Don't get anyone out of the car
Yeah, that's
until you
right.
see me.
Good boy.
So we know that.
Good boy. Yeah. Things like keeping dad in the back seat with the bride, stuff
Yep.
like that. That's unexpected with Pete. I don't even have to ask. But so many other drivers, all of a sudden dad's getting out. I'm going, yep, I got to bring him back in.
And they're also using it as a photo opportunity. Oh, look,
Yes.
let me just get here. And have you got the car?
Yeah.
Have you got? Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, Johnny's getting the photo.
Yeah.
Yep, limo guys with
Now,
cameras.
we were talking before about hens nights.
Yes.
Yeah, let's move off weddings into drunk chicks.
No, there's anything wrong with that.
No.
We love them.
Right. But there must be, Pete, and actually before, I asked Pete if there was any limos that had sunroofs in them. Pete said no, they're not allowed anymore. Why is that, Pete?
Because
Yes.
safety reasons, people will stick their head out. And
once they're out, Pete, what do they normally do once they're up and out?
they're normally exposing themselves to whoever Whoever wants to.
Now, I would
Have a look.
expect that from Sharon.
Well, you know, been there, done that. Thank God it
And
was
we've
before
moved on.
sunroofs were illegal.
Hey, tell me about hens nights.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so we do have an adage: what happens in the limo stays in the limo, unless I'm talking with you guys. And there is.
We won't tell anyone.
And that's right, because I know you guys are
Because
pretty
we're very
good.
trustworthy.
Yeah, nobody watches this podcast, mate. Don't worry about it. There's only the three of us.
So yeah, look, hens nights are always interesting. They're always fun. We're only involved at the beginning of the hens night because we also understand how wild it can get towards the end. But the good thing with girls is that once they've had a few drinks, they're just there's
loose.
Loose is a great word. So I'm not used to what words I'm allowed to use here or not, but they are
You're in a
they are
safe
very
place.
generous with the conversation. They like to play the game. Hey, Mr. Driver, guess what I'm wearing? So they
Hang on, Pete. What's the answer to that question?
Well, the answer's often not very much. But
Now, you told me off the camera that, oh, look, driver, I'm wearing no knickers.
yes, the no knickers thing is
Quite common, you're telling me.
It is quite common, and they do the flasherama. But you are driving, and you are concentrating on what's in front of you, not what's behind you. We're a very professional
It
organisation.
sounds like Britney Spears.
So,
That's a little, doesn't it?
and there is, I think the more they drink, the better as drivers we all look. So, because seriously, how desperate do you need to be? But yeah, so there is. Look, the conversation's always interesting. It's always fun, but we are driving, and safety is paramount. I did have a situation once where, as I said, you are concentrating on what's forward. We're in Chapel Street, which means we're not going very fast.
True.
And I'm looking at the side mirror, and I see this ass sticking out of that window. And I've gone, what the hell's going on? And I turn around, and sure enough, I'm not sure how she's managed it, but she's managed to lift up her dress and stick her ass out that back window. I know by pointing to it, it doesn't actually help. But, and it's like I cracked up laughing, but I had
And
to...
this is the beginning of the night.
Yeah, that's right. That's
It's
the beginning
early.
of the night. So,
Oh,
so yeah.
good on her. I like her.
Because there was no sunroof.
See?
So,
There was a sunroof here there with
There's
the tits
always,
out.
yeah.
So
Look,
that,
either
that
or.
attracted a lot of attention, and a lot of blokes started coming up to the car.
Oh, that's
and I
tricky.
don't like that. So
Can you lock it automatically?
I did after that.
Oh, good. Oh, that's good to know.
You want them to have fun. It's about them having fun.
Yeah, but
and,
staying safe as well.
Staying safe as well.
So tell me again, why do you not pick him up at the end of the night?
So, well, with
Now,
the
this
hens
is a
nights,
lesson. Hens and...
Yeah.
Do you do many bucks, actually?
less bucks.
Yeah,
And
more.
definitely not at the end of the night.
Oh, hell no, yeah.
Yeah.
So less bucks
Disgusting.
through choice. You
Which
get,
is
you get
because-
equal
Yeah.
amount of
No,
inquiries.
more inquiries from hens
Hens.
nights.
Yeah, right.
More inquiries. And bucks nights now will be golf days and paintballing and.
Yeah, okay.
And so it will require something all day, and often require a bus or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So,
right.
yeah, but at the end of the night, they ask you to pick you up at 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning, which we've been in the business too long to worry about that anymore. But you get there at 1 a.m. and you're looking for 3 of them because they haven't all. One may have scored. The other, one's laying in a gutter somewhere. One's looking for undies. I don't know.
And
But-
one's going, oh, I love you, Pete.
and there's always one that says "I love you, Pete."
Oh, look, Pete, I'm wearing undies now.
So
So we don't do that because
No.
there's a good chance they're going to throw up in your beautiful carpeted
correct,
limo.
correct,
And there's a good chance they're going to stop 15 times to go to the toilet, more throwing
Cigarette,
up, McDonald's.
So picking him up at 1 o'clock becomes a drop off at 3 or 4, and
Yeah.
we've got a wedding the next day, and
It's just not
we want to keep
pleasant.
ourselves neat and tidy.
Oh, that's good to know for couples. All right, this may be booked out for a hens the night before, but know this.
No.
There is not going to be any
No.
vomit residue.
No smells,
No smells.
no odours in the car,
No.
and
Yeah.
no torn seats, no heels through the seats.
Oh,
we try
that,
to.
I'd be Debo.
Yeah, it's pretty hard keeping them.
Keeping the heels off.
Yeah.
Another reason for the sunroofs, because
yes.
they'd be putting their heels all over the beautiful
Sharon,
leather
I don't
seats.
think these cars are very cheap.
Well, have you seen it? So it should not be.
But this is well into what?
A couple hundred.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, a couple $100,000. And
But you obviously you buy them like this. You don't buy bits and someone goes and builds you a limo.
no, they build us a limo.
So you say I want the like. I've seen a lot of. There's a Forester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
limo.
Yeah.
There's a Ford
Yeah.
Bronco limo. There's a couple of Porsche Cayenne limos.
Yes, there is. Yep.
So does someone say I want a Porsche Cayenne limo and here's 3 Porsches?
Yeah, so generally what will happen, it's a really great question. Generally
Hey,
Beautiful.
we send the sedan.
Yep.
So if it's a Porsche Cayenne
Yep.
or a Chrysler or a Merc,
Yeah, right.
we send it to the States.
Oh, the States. We don't do it here.
No, and they stretch it in the States and then they send it back. And we send the sedan there because it's already right-hand
explain
drive.
stretching, because I straight away just pictured those stretching machines that you used to see on Get Smart.
Yeah.
You know, when they used to triple it.
The short
They
version,
don't literally just stretch
they cut it. Yeah,
They cut it.
in half.
Yeah.
And then fill it out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
this-
rules
this-
and regs.
this
to go
piece-
through.
I'd imagine.
This piece has come from some other Chrysler.
No, this piece would have been
They've
specifically
built-
designed to join. So it starts
back
off
and
as a
front.
Chrysler.
Oh, right.
Yep, and they basically fill in that much of it.
Yeah.
And
You buy
yeah,
you send them the car.
Yep.
They cut the middle out.
Yep.
Retain the front and back, and
Yep.
build you a new middle.
correct. Spot on.
Far out.
I'd
Yeah.
like to be built a new middle right about now after COVID.
Same.
A skinnier version, new middle. Can
Yeah.
I send it to America? And so how long is this process? Not that we're getting off track now, but
Yeah,
I'm fascinated.
yeah.
About
fascinating.
9 months to 12 months.
Yeah,
the
right.
actual rules and regulations, bringing the car back in and getting it engineered and
Yep.
and signed off on
Yep.
through Canberra is a very daunting
Yep.
experience.
Well, that's why everyone's not doing it, I suppose.
And if they say no,
Oh,
you've got a car here
you
Ugh.
can't
and you
use.
spent a lot of money on and you can't use.
But you know, you've been doing this a while now, so you know
Yeah.
exactly how to
It's a really tough process.
rock and roll.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
You've
not,
been,
it's not
you've
enjoyable.
been in
Never has
the
been.
in the game for how long, Pete?
15 years.
Oh,
15
Sam,
years.
you were
Yeah,
just a
15
babe,
years.
weren't you, when you started?
Really?
No.
No.
But I think that's amazing. So you've got longevity, you know
Yep.
what you're doing, you've got amazing drivers. I
Yep,
think we've
we
met
do.
just about all of them, haven't we,
I
old
just
Johnny?
when we get ready to wrap up here, Shez, I just want to point out that you could go through the internet and find the cheapest, crappiest ass limo that you could. But wedding days are too good for that, surely. You want a guy who's going to look after you. You want limos that look fantastic and clean, ready to rumble. And this puppy, once it light
All
starts
of them.
flicking and the unce kicks in.
All of them, your cars are gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Even
let me-
the skinny ones, the non-stretch ones.
Yeah,
What are
which
they
one?
called?
Sedans.
Just a car?
Sedans.
The skinny,
They're called cars.
non-stretch ones.
They're called cars.
Yeah. Just your regular cars are really
Yes,
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So could I book one of your skinny cars to, say, go to the airport?
Nope.
Oh, so what do you use them for?
Weddings.
Yeah.
Oh, and funerals. You said you were
Yep,
doing a
yeah.
funeral
Mainly
tomorrow.
weddings.
Weddings with no bridesmaids.
Yes. So mainly weddings. No, we can't compete in that market of the airport runs because that is the cheaper end. That's your Uber and your taxis and
Forget
it's
that.
We had a driver once at the airport.
Yeah, you can get it. But
Wouldn't
I would
have
be,
been as
I would
nice.
be a lot more dear. Than that. But look, I think, it's a really good point, and I want to touch on it.
Yeah.
That anyone, you can hire any car,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter if it's a 1940 Rolls Royce Classic.
Yep.
But if you've got an idiot driving you,
Ugh.
or
Yes.
someone who doesn't care, or someone who doesn't shave, or who smokes and looks bored and
Hey,
disinterested, and
I remember
it's-
one.
Scratches
it's-
his nuts while he's walking to the
I
car.
remember
sort
when
of
we
thing.
pulled up, and this guy driving the car, he looked about 13. His shirt was too big for him. He didn't know where he was going. He said all the wrong things at the wrong time. He's taking photos with his own, little thing. That sort of shit does behead him.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yes.
leave it to a professional
Yeah.
and then
But
do my job
saying
properly.
that, everyone's got to start somewhere.
Sharon,
so now I feel
Sharon.
really sorry for
No.
the boy in the oversized shirt
But
with
that's
his
the boy
Panamax.
who's a $200 limo.
We get what you pay for, I suppose.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's exactly our point.
That's our
I
point.
know, but
Pay a little bit more and get a quality photographer.
Yeah.
Pay a little bit more and get whatever you do. And a
I'm
little...
a fucking celebrant and a very good one. Maybe edit out the fucking. They don't like it that much.
All right, I think we can wrap it up. We've been rambling for long enough. My clock says
Hey,
everything's
thanks
good.
for joining us.
No, absolute pleasure.
You weren't
Really
expecting
good.
that at
No,
all. You
I
thought he was
wasn't.
going to sit behind the camera and...
I was hoping I would sit behind the camera.
See, it wasn't as bad as you thought, was
It was
it?
good fun with you guys. You
It's-
guys made it easy.
And a couple of dirty stories.
I don't think we got that many dirty stories.
Good, giving us nothing.
No, we got the fleshing of the vagina.
No, that was a bum.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but-
no.
Oh,
well,
There was
yeah,
a
okay,
girl
okay,
saying, "Oh,
okay,
Pete,
yeah.
I'm not wearing any knickers." We've got a bit of Sharon
Yes.
Stone thing going on there.
Yeah, that's all
Good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you get that much of it.
Yeah, we do. On Hen's
Look,
nights.
I've been around the block a few times in my day, but I won't lie, I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah. We are, as I said, we are driving. We are looking forward.
And that's the moral of this story.
What a perfect way to end the podcast, Sharon. That is the Wedding
Very well.
Crunch live from Enrik Limousines with the amazing Pete and
The amazing Sharon the Celebrant.
and what's his name? Thank you. See you next time. Woo!
Done.
Done.
Easy.
Yeah, good work, Sharon. You go.
No, let me take out his fucking shit 7-Up.
That was awesome, guys.
You like that, Dom?
Well, I reckon you guys are awesome.